Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel for another premium figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the 3-0 Optimus Prime from Transformers Bumblebee, the movie. A little bit of background on this one. We won't get into the scale just yet. We'll talk about the scale when we actually get the figure out. Just a little bit of background on Transformers itself and my relationship, shall we say, with Transformers. In the mid to late 80s, when Transformers were all the rage, I was in my late teens and I've moved on to things that perhaps a little bit more, shall we say, mature in the pop culture world. So Transformers pretty much passed me by, although I was aware of it as a phenomenon, shall we say, and as a really amazing exercise from Hasbro, the toy manufacturers, in marketing, with the TV shows, the cartoons, linked in with the toys. I don't think anybody who wasn't living on a desert island or buried under 300 tons of concrete would have been aware of Transformers. But I wasn't really caught in the zeitgeist of it. It came back into my sort of sphere of understanding with Michael Bay and his reboot of the Transformers franchise with the movies, which I sort of enjoyed. I sort of liken watching a Michael Bay film is a bit like my first marriage. I was a bit confused about what was happening, ended up with a migraine and a slight feeling of emptiness, but still quite enjoyed it. The reason behind getting this figure for me is it is not so much I'm a huge fan of Transformers, but it just represents something to me. It represents that whole Transformers marketing, Bayverse, Bayhem, the whole package, the whole shooting match. And I simply love the design as well, a bit like the Tron Light Cycle. I absolutely just love the aesthetic of the Transformers themselves. So forgive me if I am no Transformers nerd in this. My knowledge, I will openly admit, is not particularly deep. So, don't ask me any questions about Cybertron or the Spark or Megatron or anything like that. It's only a vague knowledge. But keeping with my collecting theory, shall we say, I decided to go big or go home. Now, I know that the 3-0 do a DX line of these figures, but I wanted one piece, one bold piece, one statement piece, and I wanted Optimus Prime, and I wanted him in the in more the original look. I think it's called, is it the G1? Yeah, I believe it's called the G1 look, that original look. Not all the different permutations that came with the sequels, where he was sleeked up and teched up and bits added and bits taken away. I wanted more that original Optimus Prime look. So when I saw 3-0's premium figure, I had to go all in. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. That's enough of me rambling on about my history with Transformers. The format's going to be as usual. We're going to take a quick look at the box. If I can manage to manhandle this huge box around so we can take a quick look at it, then it'll be over to the table, and we'll take a look at the accessories, have a look at everything that comes with your Optimus Prime figure. Then we'll get the figure out itself. Hopefully we'll do that on the table. But I mean, I'm thinking this thing's probably going to be nearer the size of a quarter-scale statue or a quarter-scale figure than a 6-scale. But we'll see how we go. So we'll take a look at the figure itself, and then we'll end with a brief showcase, as we always do, and wrap this whole thing up. So, yeah, quick look round the box, and imposing it is too, as you can see. Absolutely huge. And very nicely done as well. It's done in this, and I'm not sure if the camera's picking this up. It's sort of got this... I don't know whether it's plastic coated card or whether it's all plastic itself, but it's very, very high gloss, very reflective. It's got a fantastic sheen to it. There is enormous outline of Optimus Prime's head in the center there, this Prime himself. Down the bottom here, you've got Transformers, Bumblebee, Optimus Prime. And as I said, it's the Bumblebee version I went with simply because it's sort of that classic look. So let's spin this box around, and I'm going to have to get in here and grapple with this thing, so bear with me. Let's turn it round to one side and have a look at the side. Yeah, and there what we've got is the Yeah, that's square on in the camera. Yeah, we've got another sort of outline version of Prime here, an outline image rather. There's the Transformer logo down the side. Obviously there's Premium at the bottom. The whole thing's packed in multi-layer polystyrene. We're not going to show that on camera. We're just having a quick look at the box here. We'll spin it around one more time. And what have you got on the back? Yeah, we've got Optimus at the top there. We've got the Autobots symbol, and then the usual warnings down at the bottom there, and I think some credits as well. I think one of the warnings: don't piss this figure off, or it'll roll out all over you. Let's have another quick look at the other side before we wrap this section up. Yeah, and on this side as well, once again, an outline image of Prime himself, Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, Premium. And that Autobot sort of insignia stroke logo thing down the side as well. So there you have it. That's me out of breath. That's the box. That's the box out the way. So without further ado, let's go over to the table, get all the accessories out, and have a look at everything that comes with your Prime figure. Okay, so here we are down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Premium Optimus Prime figure from 3.0. So what do you get? Now, it looks like there's an awful lot of accessories here, but I don't know whether these are technically accessories. There are two looks with this figure. There's the Cybertron look and there's the Earth look. Me personally, I'll be going with the Earth look for the display because it's more in keeping with me for the G1 phase of Transformers. But you've got the option there to switch out certain pieces here to create the alternative look. Some of those swap out pieces are these panels here, which are the stacks, the smoke stacks. Let's take a look at the Cybertron ones first. And I believe these are metal. They feel metal. They feel cold to the touch. Now, this figure is a combination of stainless steel and metal. So I believe it's a metal skeleton. And then there are some metal parts on there, so it's a combination of the two, and it does create for some heft. But I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but if these are metal, they could possibly be painted plastic, but they do feel very cold to the touch. So we'll go with metal for the time being. But yeah, these panels are indicative of the really high standard of sculpt and paintwork on this figure. There's dry brushing on there. There's multiple paint applications. There's scratching and weathering. The whole thing is just very, very well painted. In the gaps in the stacks there as well, there's a little wash there just to give it that sort of that depth. They're attached by a simple clip mechanism here, but yeah, you get two of these, as I say, for the Cybertron look, right and left, and very nice they are too. Although I will be going with the Earth look. Let's take a look at the Earth stacks. These are a round stack rather than a flat stack. The detailing on these is absolutely phenomenal, like the other ones. It's just very, very well done. The only real difference, I'll bring the other one in for comparison. The only real difference here is the paint design. I think the size is slightly different. The shape is different, obviously, of the stack and the panel. But it's, this is probably a little bit more sleeker, a bit more futuristic. This is probably a little bit more what we remember from the original Prime himself. But yeah, I'll be going with this one. But yeah, same quality of high paintwork and sculpting on both. So we'll put the stacks to one side. What else do you get? Now, these panels attached to the legs. Once again, for you to swap out the Cybertron and Earth looks. That lovely blue colour to them, got a fantastic blue hue. It's a deep blue that we associate with Prime. And once again, I believe these are magnetically attached to the legs. And they've got the same high quality of paintwork on here. There's some silver. There's that deep blue. We've got some scratches on here. There's weathering, and that consistency of paintwork is all around. It's the first thing that really strikes me, not only about the accessories, but the actual figure itself. Is just the quality of the sculpt, the intricacy of the sculpt, and the quality of the paintwork. But yeah, two of those panels, one for either leg. So we'll put those to one side. what else do you get? Now I'm going to have to recheck the instructions on these two particular items. I'm going to chance my arm here, and I am not 100% sure what they are. There are some instructions at the back there, but prior to bringing the figure out, I'll check where these go. But once again, a nice quality of paintwork. Give it that metallic feel. These are plastic. They're dirtied up. You can see there's dirt in the crevices there. There's washers on there to pick out the detailing, and just overall very, very nice, very, very well sculpted and exceptionally well painted to give it that metallic look. So we'll put those pieces to one side. I do believe that these attach either to the hips or the legs. I think it's the hips, these, and once again I think these are for the Earth look, but don't quote me on that. I will check between takes. Plastic, all plastic these, and once again they've got that lovely metallic paintwork on them. There's a wash on here, multiple washes to give it that dirty look and pick out the detailing. There's dirtying on there. There's specks of dirt, what even looks like oil on there. Yeah, just very, very nicely sculpted, very, very nicely painted, and these just peg in. And the great thing is as well, I mean, the paintwork extends all around, even to the areas that aren't visible. And that's something else I noticed for the other accessories. Even those areas that aren't visible, the attention to detail here is exemplary. So we'll put those to one side. Now, these are I believe these are I'm going to call them shoulder pads for want of a better expression. I believe these go with the Cybertron look. Now, once again, they've got the Autobots insignia on them. They've got the same quality of paintwork as the panels on the stacks. That lovely deep red, lots of weathering. Yeah, I mean, you've even got, if the camera can pick this up, you've got even what looks like an oil stain running down here. Just very, very good. It's the attention to detail here. I keep banging on about it, but it really, really is very, very good indeed. So yeah, those are the shoulder pads, for want of a better expression. What else do you get? These that look like small bat symbols are actually the hubcaps, if you want to call them that. They cover the wheels. They're on Optimus's legs. I believe when the caps are on, we're talking Cybertron look. When the caps are off, we're talking Earth look. So I won't be going with these, but yeah, we'll take a look at how all these bits and pieces interact with the figure when we get it out. Just plain black with some grey detailing on there. There's a red outline on there, and there's a magnet at the back, and they simply magnetize to the wheels themselves. So we'll put those to one side. Now, let's take a look at this. Now, this sort of, nondescript looking piece of plastic is actually quite important. There are two of these, and these attach to the hands, so that Optimus can grab hold of and hold securely this rather menacing looking weapon over here. I believe it's an ion blaster. Now, there are two of these. One is already on the figure, and I'm not going to attempt to take it off because they're quite finicky to get on. They actually go underneath the articulated hands, as you'll see when we bring the figure out. And it's simply a case of clipping this on, and then it attaches to the handle of the gun. Probably, if you're going to do it, we'll do it on camera when we bring the figure out. The best way to do it is to actually just slide this on to the gun itself and then attach the gun to the hand. But yeah, there's two of those, one for the right, one for the left. Finally, there's this panel. Now, it's got two chest panels. One, I believe, has a windscreen. One doesn't. We'll double check that when we bring the figure out. But once again, these correspond with the Cybertron and the Earth looks. I will be going with the Earth look. I couldn't tell you straight off the bat here which is which at the moment, as I don't claim to be a graduate of the school of Autobots. But yeah, once again, this the sculpt here, the paintwork, the attention to detail. I mean, you've got little rivets here, the washes of paint, that deep red that we associate with with Optimus. You've got weathering on here. It's dirtied up a little bit. There's scratches. It's not overly weathered though. It's not overly scratchy. It's just pitched perfectly. So props to 3.0 here, not only for the attention to detail, but also the quality of the paintwork as well. And I believe I think there may be magnets here. Looks like those are two magnets, and I think there's a clipping action as well, but we'll check that out when we bring out the big guy himself, and he is a big guy. Let's put that to one side, and finally we have got this huge, and it is huge, ion blaster. Now, where to begin with this? The sculpt is lovely. It really, really is. I think it's just hollow plastic, but it's really got some heft to it, especially at the front here, but that's down to the batteries and the light-up function that we'll come to. But yeah, it's got multiple paint applications to give it that metallic look. Once again, as with all the bits of armor and the panels and so on, it's got that scratching detail. There's washes in the crevices. It's dirtied up. It really, really is very, very well done. The attention to detail in the paintwork, once again, phenomenal. You've got some brass, what looks like brass silvery effect here. It's not all one color. There's all kinds of different colors going on in here. There's blacks, there's grays, there's silvers, and that wash, and it's got a high gloss wash on top of it, which is really, really nice indeed. And then there's its party piece. Now, we'll see if we can do this on camera. There is a battery compartment here. We already have batteries in. Now, this lifts off. You have to be very careful here because it's quite delicate. So you lift that off. Inside, a couple of button cell batteries. I forget off the top of my head which type. I'll check in between shots, and then I don't know whether the camera's picking up. There's an absolutely tiny button just there, which you push to one side. Let's put the cover back on, and I think it's best to grip this actually in the center here when you're attempting to get this back on, and I shall attempt to do this on camera, and I'm hoping it will cooperate. It cooperated when we I won't say rehearsals, but when I did it earlier. Yeah, there we go. Gently squeeze it back on, and that is your ion blaster on. I'm not going to point this directly into the camera because this is quite bright. I'm quite impressed with this, but yeah, really, really does add that extra element of realism in the display. So yeah, that's the light up function, and also the magazine as well. And once again, it's the same high quality of paint and sculpt, and I believe that just slots in there. So yeah, slots in like that. And that is your ion blaster. Absolutely huge it is too. I can even hold it like a gun. Yeah, so there are your accessories. That's all the stuff that you get with your Optimus Prime figures. So without further ado, it's time for the main event himself. Let's bring out the big guy. I'm hoping we can get him into shot here without having to go over to the details. Yeah, we'll bring out the big guy and see if we can't kit him up Earth fashion. So without further ado, let's get out the main event himself. Okay, so here we are with the 3.0 Optimus Prime Bumblebee premium scale figure out of the box, and as you probably gathered, we are not on the table, and there's a reason for that. This guy is pretty much the same size as a quarter scale statue, and really it's just not doable to film this section of the review on the table. We had a go, that was aborted, and we've come down in front of the detail so you can take a look at this guy in all his glory. Just before we take a look at him, I would like to say a huge thank you to everybody who has liked, commented, subscribed to the channel. It really does mean an awful lot to us here at Go Figure. Keeps us going, and thank you very, very much for all your support. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any of the content that's coming up. And we do have a lot more content coming up. There will be a list when we wrap this portion of the review up. So, oh yeah, and just before we do dive into this section, I forgot to mention when we were down on the table, the other bits and pieces, some of the other bits and pieces that this figure comes with, just the paperwork really. You do get a warranty card from 3.0, and it also comes with, viewers to my channel, no doubt will find this quite amusing, a nice set of instructions, full colour instructions, 3 or 4 pages in there, fold out, and trust me, they are needed. This is a very, very intricate piece, feat of engineering, really. So I would recommend, I know, odd for me, but I would recommend reading these if you are going to pick this piece up prior to getting down with it and trying to get it into some kind of presentable state. So yeah, where to begin with this figure? A little bit lost for words. Let's do as we always do. Let's start at the bottom, work our way up. What we'll attempt to do is spin him round as well, so you can see the sides and the back. I'm doing this one-handed, handheld, so please bear with me. So I have to be super careful spinning this guy around. But yeah, talking of the feet and moving him, one thing that really did impress me straight off the bat was just how sturdy this guy is, freestanding. There's no stand included with this particular figure, and to be honest with you, it doesn't need it. It's incredibly stable, and I think that's down to this immense footprint that you get here, and also the fact that the toes here, there's a split cut design here, so the toes move underneath here; they move independently. So he really is pretty solid on his pins, this guy, which is good news. I am not going to wobble on too much about the quality of the paintwork, the attention to detail, the dry brushing. I'm going to let the pictures speak for themselves on this one, because as you can see, the quality that was in those accessories really is carried on throughout the entire figure itself. The level of detail is simply phenomenal. It really, really is. From there are visible ratchets. There are visible pistons and mechanical pieces. Lots of the bits and pieces on here move. Just as an example, these side flaps here are fully articulated. It's got some nice little touches as well when you're posing it and bending these arms. These sections here actually depress. They're spring loaded and they pop down, so they don't actually catch on the arm there. And that's another thing to mention about this figure, is the articulation. I was really, really surprised just how much movement you can get out of something like this. I was expecting it to be very, very limited, and it is to a certain extent, because when you're moving those arms, those shoulders, there's a lot of pieces that can catch. So I would say exercise caution when you're posing him. But the range of articulation really is impressive for something this size. You've got butterfly joints at those shoulders. The arms are ratcheted, the legs are ratcheted, and the whole thing actually, does give you a lot of possibilities for posing. So yeah, impressed with the articulation here, along with just about everything else. But yeah, let's get in up close with this and have a look here just at the level of detail in that abdomen section, moving up to the shoulders, the quality of that paintwork. I've got him in the well, I suppose it's a semi-earth mode. Once again, apologies to Transformers and Optimus Prime aficionados. I've sort of mixed and matched a bit and gone for a look that I was going for, more as close, well, I won't say close to the G1, but a bit of a G1 look. So you've got the round smokestacks on the shoulders there, as opposed to the flat ones. Yeah, and another apology as well. These sections here, when we're down on the table, these magnetic sections, I said they were for the legs. Obviously, they're not. They're for the arms there. And while we're looking at the arms, also worthy of note are these hands. Now, these hands are all fully articulated. Now, there are, I believe, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, each finger has 3 points of articulation, so you can really get some expressive poses here. They put me in mind of the hands that Hot Toys have on their RoboCop figures. Sometimes the thumbs can be a bit of an issue. They get in the way sometimes, but on the whole, they really, really do lend themselves for some really expressive posing. So yeah, that's the hands. That paintwork's continued up through the arms. All the visible machinery in here. It really is a feat of engineering, this thing. And right up to that rather marvelous head sculpt. The detailing on the neck, the colours are right, the proportions are right, because I know they did I think they call it the DLX line which is more like a 6 scale figure. And there was a bit of consternation about the proportions of the head when they did the Bumblebee Optimus, but it seems like they've got it absolutely bang on with this one. And it also has a party piece. If you lift the helmet off here, let's see if we can do this on camera without dropping it. Inside there, a couple of button cell batteries, they simply slot in. Once you put the batteries in, you simply replace at the top of the helmet like that, and the insignia, or that grill rather, in the middle, just give it a little push and his eyes light up. I'm not sure whether the camera's picking it up. They are quite bright, and there is a blue hue to these eyes when they're not lit, but when you do light them up, they really do pop and bring the whole thing to life. And another nice little touch as well is when you turn them off, if we can do that, they don't just switch off; they actually fade out, which is a little thing, I know, but it pleases me. So yeah, we'll try and get round the sides and the back with this guy, which is going to maybe involve spinning this table. I don't know whether we might be easier actually moving the. Yeah, it will be easier moving the figure itself. Let's just bring this guy round, and he has some serious heft to him. Let's have a look at the sides here. Yeah, I mean, as I say, just phenomenal work here. I ain't going to go into too much detail, or we'll be here all night. And I'm sure you people have better things to do than listen to an old man twitter on about an Autobot. But yeah, those tyres are really, really nice. That's the spot where you magnetically clip the hubcaps if you're wanting to go for the Cybertron look. Those are the two accessories. Well, I say accessories, but I mean, I'm not even sure what they are, to be honest with you. But we looked at them down on the table, and they simply slot into place. They peg into place. These are the sections that we looked at as well. These move to aid articulation. There are quite a lot of moving pieces on this, and although it feels incredibly sturdy when you have it in hand, I'm always a little bit cautious when I pick this guy up, and I've only had him a short while. Just simply, there's so much stuff that you can catch, and I live in mortal fear of breaking something on him, but he is incredibly well built. So unless you come at this like a maniac, it should remain in relatively good condition. Worthy of note, and I don't know whether I can do this on camera, but I think I might struggle here. But when you actually, there is an articulated race, it is moving, it's ratcheted, and as you can see, as you ratchet the back, this whole sort of, I'm going to call it a spinal column, becomes exposed, which is underneath. It's just these little touches and this attention to detail with this that really set it apart. Let's bring him round again before we wrap this gush fest up. And as I said in the intro there, I am not the world's biggest Transformer fan. However, I think this, I think Optimus Prime, and I think and this figure as well, really do sort of represent something unique from the 80s and from the Bayverse as well. I'm just really happy to have it in the collection. It'll be going alongside my other quarter scale figures and statues. So there you have it, Optimus Prime in all his glory. What we're going to do next is we're going to wrap this whole thing up with a brief showcase of this rather stunning piece. Before we do that, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. As I mentioned before, please hit that like button. Please hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any more of the content that's coming up on the channel. And what have we got coming up? Well, there is a hell of a lot. Off the top of my head, we've got Y Studios Leatherface, that's coming in soon. We've got the Doof Warrior, which is the mad guitarist with a rather nice diorama display base. That's coming in. That's by Premier Toys and from Mad Max Fury Road. From Hot Toys, Dead Strange, and the Catwoman 2.0. Be interesting to see if they've made any improvements since the first one. X06, Admiral Picard. We've got the Dragon in Dreams, Pete Mitchell, Tom Cruise from Top Gun. Present Toys Anton Chigurh, No Country for Old Men. I could go on and on and on, but I won't. So all it remains for me to say is take care of yourselves. Happy collecting. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the showcase.